ago. You know what's the best thing we did? We have 7 kids in the audience here.
Oh,
you know that between us? 7 kids getting on. Now mine are just now old enough to actually watch Mike and the Mad Dog. Jack, Emily, Harrison, sitting with my lovely wife Ro there. Hi, Em, Jack, yeah. And you have, now Timmy is like 6'2" now. He's big, he's a basketball star. And the Russo kid's right over here. I mean, how good is that? I mean, that's the best thing we did. 7 kids.
And you had such a bond because he was the first one.
With Timmy, because he's the one we remember. He knew the show because you know the dogs are a little older, but it's amazing. I mean, 7 kids. That's not bad.
And he was the first one, so you had a good bond with Timmy.
Timmy was great. He used to go to the games with us.
All the time.
Absolutely. But that's pretty good. So, you know, they get to sit here tonight and watch this, which is
You remember the time I brought Timmy in with the Yes Network and I had him do all the voices?
Absolutely.
And we got a big kick out of it?
Absolutely.
Anyway, go ahead.
That's it. And you know what? I still hear Tony once in a while. You know that? You know that?
I'm glad you bring him up.
How good was Tony on the show? I mean, Tony was great on the show.
Tony?
Jenna.
Tony Russo was so upset when 2008 occurred and we were no longer. He called up all upset.
Absolutely.
And you handled that so well.
Yeah, he was good though.
On that day. Because he loved with the Yankee bond, he loved working with you with that Yankee bond.
Oh, he was great. He loved the Yankees. That was his thing.
Think about this for a minute. 4 months before he dies, didn't even know he was sick. He's in New Canaan, Connecticut. We go out to dinner. It was the year it was the month that Jackie Robinson's movie came out, which is a good movie.
Right.
Jackie Robinson, just 42, is a good movie. So, Tony, we're at the dinner, and Tony says, you know, I saw Jackie Robinson there. So I said, absolutely. He said, did you know I was at Ebbets Field? Really? You never told me that. And I'm 55 years old. You figure I'm a sportscaster. Yeah, I was there the day the catcher dropped the ball. I said, that Mickey Owen? You were there when Mickey Owen had the pass ball. He says, yeah, I was sitting behind home plate when Mickey Owen had the pass ball, World Series.
1941.
1941. I couldn't believe it. I said, Dad. He says, I'll tell you another game I was at. What's that? You remember the game when the left fielder made that great catch and DiMaggio kicked the dirt? Gianfrido made the catch and left. DiMaggio's kicking the dirt in the 47 World Series.
Tony was sitting right next to him.
Tony's out in center field. I said, Dad, how do you not tell me this? And then he gives me another one. 1949, game 1 of the World Series. The ball landed 2 feet from him. Tommy Henrik, bottom of the 9th against Newcomb. 1-0 Yankees in game 1 of the 49 World Series. I said, Dad, you went to all these games, and I've been here for 25 years, and you've never told me that I could not get over it, for crying out loud. That TR went to those 3 games. Those are the 3 greatest games you've ever seen in your life.
Boy, it didn't work.
Couldn't believe it. But your relationship with Tony
was great.
Special.
Listen, that was great. He was a great fan, and you know what? He loved going on the show. And you know what? He was great on the show. He was
good.
Classic. He was classic stuff. So you liked the Jackie Robinson movie?
Oh, I loved it. Did you like it?
Oh yeah. I was watching this movie the other night. You know.
What movie were we watching?
It's an old movie.
What's it called?
Daredevil.
We gotta tell the story. It's funny.
They've all heard the clip.
The blind superhero. It went over my head. It went over your head. What a piece of tape that is, for crying out loud.
I said to Dog, you see this movie? It's an Affleck movie, Daredevil. It's about a blind crime fighter. Dog goes, true story.
And you didn't respond.
True story. Absolutely.
Oh, God.
All right, here we go. Questions from Peter on Twitter. Dog's on Twitter. You on Twitter? You're on Twitter?
I haven't been on it recently. I have a Twitter account.
You have a Twitter account?
Yes, I do.
What was your most memorable show / guest? Let's start with show. Hard to do one show being the most memorable show, but a couple of shows stick out through the years, but what show sticks out to you? What show do you, if I ask that question, what show sticks out to you?
Well, from a 9/11, some of those.
Yeah,
but I don't want to go
Magic
there.
Johnson AIDS, remember
That's
that?
what I was going to bring up, too. That Magic.
Giamatti having a heart attack. I mean, but which one do you?
That's Corey Lido.
Oh, jeez.
That was terrible.
That was rough.
That was a Met rainout that night.
That was a rough one, Corey.
That was the Met rainout. You remember that? In 2006, we were at Shea Stadium.
The Yankees were playing the Tigers in a playoff game.
Oh, maybe it was at Yankee Stadium.
Tigers
Yankee
playoff
Stadium.
game, yes.
And or I thought it was the Mets Cardinals, whatever it was. And we got this report. There was this.
Johnny's here.
Johnny Franco
John Franco, everybody, folks.
walks the ballpark. I love you, Johnny. Stuff that body, Johnny.
Guy gets 400 saves and you say he walks the ballpark.
He knows I'm kidding him. I would say at 4 o'clock on that 91 day when nobody knew what that press conference was going to be about, and Magic announced that he was retiring from the NBA. I thought that was you remember that day, Mike?
Yes, very well.
That was an historic. We were shocked. You and I sitting there doing that show.
And the other thing was after Mickey Mantle died, that was unbelievable. That whole
You
week,
were great with that.
Well, that whole week was just, the people were just so emotional. Like I've
You
never
did a
seen
great
that
job.
for like the whole week. And one guest, most memorable guest. Who's the one guest that you were more excited to have on the show?
Memorable?
Well, let's say, or more, anyway, memorable, or just more that he was on the show, you were more excited that he was on. I mean, we had the president on.
You know what it was? I'd have to say Jordan. We only had Jordan on once. And we had Jordan on after he had the double nickel. It was after he retired. But we asked him about the double nickel at the Garden when he had the 55 against the Knicks.
Yeah, when he got mad.
And he got mad.
Yeah.
But that's the only time in all those years that we ever had him on. We had Bird on, we had Magic
Bird
on,
more than once.
we had Wilt Chamberlain on, we had Wilt on, but having Jordan, he was good. You know, he was good that he was promoting something. That spot is probably one of the
The
most
guy we always
spots.
wanted to get, we never got, was Tiger Woods.
Never got Tiger.
Never got
Jack Nicklaus. I don't think we got Jack Nicklaus. I never talked to Jack. Maybe one day when I wasn't there.
Do we have Nicholas or no?
I don't remember.
Maybe we didn't. I'm not sure. All right. Ready for this one? This is from Mitchell on Facebook. What was the biggest Mike and the Mad Dog feud?
First off,
The biggest. Now, there were only like how many bad ones?
3.
3? One lasted 6 months.
Well, the first fight that we had was in 90 or 91.
Right.
Mike was on vacation, and I asked Steve Cohen, the board op, can we get rid of the Mike and the Mad Dog jingles for a second, please? You remember that one? That was bad.
But the worst one was when we were fighting anyway, and you wanted to go to Indiana.
That's right.
And
That was a bad one.
our flight got canceled, and I wouldn't wait around for another flight. Went to the station and didn't go on the remote, and you went crazy. And I don't think we talked for 6 months.
That's important. All right. Remember, Knicks Pacers.
Knicks Pacers. That was a big one.
That was that big. We got to tell the story right. Knicks Pacers. Mike and I are going to Indiana for Game 6. We drive to LaGuardia. I'm in New Canaan. Mike's on Long Island. Flights canceled. We have to go through Washington to go to Indiana. Remember that, Mike? We had to go to Indianapolis. Mike didn't want to get on a plane. I couldn't wait to get out of New Canaan. I wanted to go to Indiana in the worst way. Mike did not want to go on our plane, and so we didn't go. Mike and I were so upset at each other that literally, this was in mid-May, it was this conference final, we did not talk. This is true. We did not talk. Hello, how are you? Nothing. They brought us into the upstairs in the general manager's office. We stood up and almost had a fight. We did not talk until you sent me an invite when you got married to...
I didn't send you an invite. She sent you an invite.
Rose, stand up for a minute, Rose, stand up.
Rose saved Mike and the Mad Dog.
That's the point. Rose saved that.
Our wedding, I wasn't sending you an invite.
Yeah, you were not going to invite me to that?
Roe saved Mike and the Mad Dog.
Because
Listen, there's only one ham in the family, folks. I'm sorry. That's it.
that was important.
Yeah.
And we broke
But
the
that
ice.
was true. I didn't even know she had invited you.
And you knew I was going to come. Because everybody was surprised I showed up. You knew I'd come to that. That was the
I was
biggest
hoping you
fight
wouldn't come, to be
in the
honest with
history.
you.
What you said?
I was hoping you wouldn't come.
That was a big
Now,
fight.
here's the amazing thing. We did a top-rated show every day, 5.5 hours a day for 6 months, and never spoke even during the commercials.
Never spoke.
One time.
We basically
We wouldn't even look at each other during the commercials.
We basically did a show within a show. I did half the show, Mike did half the show, and didn't do anything with you.
Never, and no one ever picked up on it.
Nobody did.
Never. For 6 months we did it. That was true. So that was the biggest feud. I think that was there was one late, and there wasn't one when you left. There really wasn't a feud.
Really wasn't. I didn't know. We should do that for a second.
There really wasn't a feud
No.
when you left.
I did not handle it right. I should have come across much open with that. But the idea that somehow Mike was livid that I left her.
No, there wasn't
There
a
was
feud.
not a matter of fact. I left when I leave, July, right? That next spring, I hadn't spoken to Mike in 7 months. That next spring, I'm driving home, and who calls me on a cell phone? You did. And I hadn't spoken to Mike in 7 months, and he filled me in on everything New York. Girardi, they're getting mad at Girardi with the lineups. They're getting mad with this, getting mad with that. And that was the first time we spoke in 7 months. Do you remember that phone call?
I do.
And that just goes to show you that there was no real, I didn't handle it right, but there was no hard
There
feelings.
was, and you know, since we've been apart, we haven't really spoken that many times. Now, the last couple of weeks, the months since we prepared for this, we've been together like 4 or 5 times, which is the most by far we've been together by far in the last 8 years. So we haven't seen that much of us, but there's been no animosity or anything when we get together. But here's the next question. What are the odds you would ever do a regular show together again? Wait, now I got a question. Who wants us to do a show together again?
I thought you were retiring in 2017.
I'm going home to spend some time with my family.
Well, I can't do the show with Joe Benigno for crying out loud.
Well, you can.
I guess I could, yeah.
So, you know what? Never say never. How about that? That's for Dog's next negotiation. That's what that's for. Now, this is from Daniel on Facebook. What is the on-air moment each of you are most proud of?
Boy. I got a couple. What he said? You didn't hear that. I'll tell you which one. This is an easy one.
What are you most proud of?
You ready? I'll give you mine. Yes had that big dispute with the Yankees. Yes had that big dispute with the cable companies about putting the games on the air. And you and I worked for Yes. And we took the side of the cable companies because we thought Yes was out of line. That took some guts because we worked for Yes. We were getting paid by Yes. We had Leo Hendry on, who was the chairman, and we were killing him. Leo, make a deal. Put the Yankee games on your TV set, please. The fact that we bit the hand that fed us, which not a lot of people would do, you remember that?
Yeah,
That was
absolutely.
pretty proud.
Well, in that vein, I would say the thing that we did where we showed some is when we stuck up for Imus, because that wasn't easy. We got killed. Internally, we got killed. But externally, you know, who knows? It's hard to think about what we've done in 19 years. We've raised a lot of money for charities with the Tomorrow's Children's Fund and with a lot of charities. But you know who should be proud tonight? You folks, because you raised over $1 million for the Garden of Dreams, which is really the
I'll give you one more for a second. How about about the time, I don't know if people remember this, how about the time that you and I,
Yep.
for the Fireman's Fund, I think it was the Fireman's Fund, did the 24 hours non-stop?
Yes, that was the dumbest show we ever did. 20. I don't remember what we were thinking about. We did 24 consecutive hours of Mike and the Mad Dog in Rockefeller Center, as a matter of fact. right over
Rockefeller
there.
Center, yeah.
And I said to Dog, I said, listen, it's a long show. You know, I said, you got to pace yourself. About 1 in the morning, they lock us in because they don't want anybody, you know, walking around from the street. So they lock us in. There's nobody there. Now it's 1 o'clock in the morning. We have Tiki Barber on from Israel. That's not the point of the story. We have Tiki Barber on from Israel. He and Dog get in a brawl. I mean, I basically could have left for an hour. They were screaming back and forth.
That's when Tiki left the Today Show, and that's when he left the Giants.
Dog got so exhausted that by 5 o'clock, he had to go curl up in the corner and go to sleep for 2 hours.
I had no voice left.
So I told him to pace himself. He couldn't do it. But that was probably the dumbest show we ever did. 24 hours. You know, because that was nuts. I wouldn't want to try that again. But you know, that 24 hours. What were we thinking?
And how about the time that when Milbury came on, and the first question I asked him, Mike, how do you still have your job as the Oliver Kettle?
Way to soften him up, Dog. Way to soften him up.
Never talk to me again, for crying out loud. Oh, my God.
Now, talking about that, we've had our good days and bad days with another very colorful, very successful manager. Let's go to the videotape.
During his 7-year tenure in New York, Bobby Valentine took the imagination of Mets fans with a passion for the game and an outspoken personality.